We were blessed with the opportunity to buy a first little small farm and have been able to add on and add on and add on. We raise Angus. We like the Angus genetics and have our own type of Angus genetics that we really like.
His efforts on this ranch and his willingness to share his knowledge with others, I think exemplifies a conservationist.
We started really with the idea that we wanted to improve the rangeland. It really kind of began to sink in to me that what we really want is for the range to be like it was 1,000 years ago. And so that kind of introduced me into the concept of trying to do prescribed burns. The prairie, from what I understand, probably burned every 1 to 5 years on its own. And so our goal is to somewhat mimic that. We would like to burn every 3 to 4 years, and that's enough to keep the brush from encroaching, but on the other hand, we want to maintain some of the trees and the brush. We need that for wildlife, we need it for cover for our cattle.
Our grasses, our native tall grasses, are fire adaptive. They evolved with fire, and much of our woody brush species, which is a huge problem in our area, are not fire adaptive. So that's how you control it, with fire, economically.
We spend quite a bit of time working on fire guards and trying to put those in. One of the ways it seems to work the best and has been the easiest, actually in the wintertime when the grass is dormant, to feed cattle along the line where we want to stop or start the burn. And they will naturally beat all the grass down, eat all the forage that's there, and it makes a great fire guard. So as we burn, we don't want to burn and remove all the trees, but we just want to kind of keep them in check. After burning, the next step was rotational grazing, and we've been rotationally grazing for about 25 years, not intensely, but what works for our operation. The first limiting factor when we started trying to rotational graze was we needed water in more places. So we're blessed here to have really good groundwater and can drill a well nearly anywhere, and have really started running pipelines. We started that probably 25 years ago to be able to put in more water sources, more water points, to be able to fence off where we can rotationally graze. We do plant cover crops, but primarily all the farming we do is to produce forage for our cattle. In the fall, we will plant a winter crop of primarily wheat, rye, triticale, turnips, radishes, cowpeas, winter peas, not only for the health of the soil, but we graze it typically.
One of my memories from years ago was Phil recognizing that all those weeds out in these native range pastures aren't necessarily weeds, they're forbs. He was starting to adopt this, I'm going to reduce my spraying so that I have the forbs. For me, Bill has always been a constant learner. He introduced sheep as a multi-species grazing system. Not things that typical here, and certainly what I consider an early adopter.
One of the things we recognized is that sheep could really help us, and particularly hair sheep, could help us control some of the invasive species such as Cerisa lespedeza. Part of our rotational grazing is that we try to rotate the sheep through the pasture first. And we run about 200 ewes, buy those in the spring, run them till fall, and then we keep about 50 ewes throughout the winter. So we try to run the sheep through first and then the cattle second. And that seems to work for us. I always dreamed of being a cowboy. Even as a child, I wanted to be a cowboy. And at about 6 or 7 years old, I had my first bottle of calves, and it was kind of my first real responsibility was to take care of those. And I've enjoyed cattle ever since. My wife loved ranching and loved the idea of raising our family on a ranch, and she loved working with the cattle and doing all the things that we do. The joy of my life was being able to be able to get her in the evening and go look at what I'd done, and her be proud of what we had accomplished. She was just always there supporting us. She was my partner. When I was told that we had won this award, I thought, well, I'm not worthy. I know there's a lot of people that are doing a lot of good things to regenerate the land. I was humbled by it, of course honored. I'm honored for my family, for my kids and my grandkids, that they can know that the things that they've worked hard on will be able to be seen by other people to show how we've been blessed. Our number one goal is to leave it better than we found it, to be good stewards of what we've been entrusted with.